Hey everybody, welcome back to We Are Podcast. This is Camp Slash Horrorcast Season 1, Episode 22, The Frighteners. If this is your first time checking out the podcast network, we appreciate it. Please head over to your favorite podcast app, Spotify, Stitcher, Podbean, or iTunes, and give We Are Podcast Network a like. And just a reminder, Camp Slash Horrorcast is a weekly live videocast available on Twitch and YouTube. We go live every Monday at 8 p.m. Central Time at twitch.tv/WeArePodcastNetwork and youtube.com/WeArePodcastNetwork. As the Camp Slash Horrorcast is live, I will not be editing the audio for this podcast. So what you saw live is what you get here. Please come watch the stream every Monday at 8 p.m. And if you want to see the previous streams, go check out our Twitch or YouTube channel. And for a full list of future films we'll be watching, please head over to Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at /WeArePodcast. All links can be found in the description. And with that, on to the Horrorcast. We're live. Excellent. Hey, everybody. Welcome to Camp Slash Horrorcast, live on Twitch every Monday at 8 p.m. where we talk horror movies from the past. I am your head camp counselor, Duck. I'm here with all the other head camp counselors, excluding one. So we have with us Mr. Javi B. Javi, how are you doing today, sir?
I'm tired, but I'm actually okay. I'm excited. I fucking love the Frighteners. If you don't love the Frighteners, I hate you. But welcome to the cast.
Well, I know somebody who doesn't love it, so you're gonna have to be hating on them. Next, we got.
I think I know who it is.
Next, we got
that fucking
Jay.
fetus.
Next, we got Jay McFox Michael. Jay, how are you, sir?
I am doing just swell.
Excellent.
I am very excited to talk about this lovely movie.
Fuck yeah.
My
Next,
man.
we got David Jessup. David, how are you, sir?
Hey, man, I'm doing pretty cool. Thanks for asking.
Yeah. Next, we got Shaky Jakey.
Hey,
all up
what's
in
going
here.
on?
How are you, Shaky Jakey?
I'm well. I love this movie. Let's get into it.
And finally, we got the man who probably doesn't care for it as much as us.
Wait,
Mr.
were you just
Ethan.
assuming? So I just went after Ethan for nothing?
Well, no, we'll see.
He was
Ethan,
just assuming. We'll see
Ethan,
though.
How are you?
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Camp Slash Comedy Horrorcast, where I'm going to have an aneurysm if we consider this horror and not They Live.
Boo, bitch! Boo!
I agree with that.
That's fair. That's fair.
I mean-
Hey, shout out to the person who just followed us, by the way. Thank you so much for joining the crew here. We really
Yeah,
appreciate it.
Shout out to Hobbit Sarah on Twitch.
Thank you. How it set
Spoke
up.
to us while we
on.
were still setting up for the stream, so we didn't forget about you. We didn't.
Who's
Yeah.
your favorite Hobbit, Sarah?
We appreciate it. Let us know in the comment section. With comments, talk, chat, what is it? I don't know.
Yeah, Ethan, ask
Yeah.
Sarah who her
Chat.
favorite Hobbit is.
I've got an eye on all the chats, so whether you're watching on Twitch, YouTube, whatever, I'll see it here. But if you want to see it here on the stream, hop into Twitch, come chat with us, and I guess either shit or love on this movie with us. So let's get it, boys.
I better be love. All right. What is our histories? Let's go through it. I'm going to start real quick. Mine. Stars used to have a featurette, and Jake, I know you remember this. Jay, you probably remember this too. They used to have this featurette where they would show off movie reels. I think that's what it was called, something like that. And they had a preview of this movie back in like 95, close to when it came out. I guess it came out in 96. But I remember seeing it, and at that time I would have been about 10 or 11 and terrified, but I remember being intrigued by what I was seeing on the screen and thinking, that's cool. The ghost effects are cool. Everything's cool. I've been drinking Hobbs,
I know, I love it.
And I was super
Great.
fucking pumped. And then I probably didn't see it for another 5 years until I was like 15 or 16. But the first time I watched this movie, fell in love with it. I think this is a masterpiece. There are issues with it. I am not going to deny that. Pacing issues, especially with the director's cut. Which we watched the director's cut of it. There's a lot of added stuff, especially with the Poltergeist ghost comedy. There's a lot of overacting. That's what happens when you let character actors go wild, but it's fun as shit. And I just love this movie. It's so much fun. So that's my history with it. I've shared this movie with so many people throughout my life. Like I said earlier, I've watched this probably 100 times. It's just so much. It's so much fun. Javi, what's your history with the movie?
Well, I don't remember when I first saw this movie. I just know that I was a young boy, probably around 10 or 11. So somewhere about 97, 98, I saw this movie. And I just remember just like fucking seeing the credits, it had a very Ghostbusters kind of feel to it, and I really dug that because I didn't think Ghostbusters I'm going to be all in on, and I just found it so fucking awesome. It was hilarious. I fucking love Jake Busey just chewing up every scene. It's like I feel like the director told Jake, "Listen, I want you to imagine your father in 30 years, and I want you to be that."
Yeah, just
He
go.
said, "Oh, I can do that."
He's just
But-
going
and I
crazy,
just-
dude. Chewing up scenery left and
the
right.
fucking weird ass FBI agent, just
Agent-
Jeffrey.
yes.
Combs.
yes, he was just fucking a lead breastplate. It was just fucking
Special
weird. I
Agent
fucking
Dammers is
love
the
that
best
guy.
part of that whole movie.
And does he? We'll get to it. I didn't know you probably do the movie without him, and it still works. But goddamn it, is he fun? So
But it is, and you like I just found myself loving every character, every side character, especially like Frank Barrister's two ghost pals that go with him everywhere. Those guys were awesome.
you
And
call
he
him
was just
Frank
like those-
Barrister?
Bannister. And just like the whole fucking all the cemetery ghosts were the shit, and I like that they each had like their own little thing. It was fucking great. I just love this movie,
It's great,
and it
So
holds
much
up
fun.
well.
Jay, Mick Fox, Michael, what you think? What's your history with this?
Well, when I was growing up, I actually never got to I never got to go to the movies with my family, like ever. I can honestly say my entire life as a full family, my family never went to go see a movie. So my movie buddy was actually my granny. So she took me to some of the absolute most trashy horror movies ever. But she was such a gamer. She's probably seen more horror movies than most of y'all did in the 90s, maybe with the exception of you, Jessup. But we saw this one in 96 when it came out. And she actually had some very interesting things to say. Most of the time, the horror movies that we'd go see, she was just like, okay. But after this one, she said two things, and one was a little more prophetic. The first thing she said was like, that was actually really good. And the second thing she said was, Michael J. Fox looks a lot older than 35 in this movie. And as it turns out, it was about to become a lot more true than that very soon after this, when he actually came forward with his Parkinson's, declaration. But yeah, he definitely looked quite a bit older than the days of Scott Howard.
I
and
think he
Marty
knew
Howard.
about it. He knew about it while he was filming this, also. I
Well,
believe.
he knew about. He
Yeah, I
first
was
got
gonna
the
say.
glimpse was Doc Hollywood, 91. He noticed a little twitch in his left pinky finger,
Mhm.
and from there it just kind of obviously got worse over the years.
Jeez. Yeah, there's moments in the movie too where you can see the Parkinson's. You can really see him like twitching and moving, and just the little bit. God, he's a powerhouse in this movie. It's such a shame that we lost him. And all I could think was like,
He's
the whole time,
alive.
No. I
He's
mean,
still
lost
with
him
us.
lost him as an actor in like
Yeah,
film.
You
This-
gotta
this was
clarify
definitely-
that, bud.
Yeah,
This was
I'm
definitely this was his
And-
swan song, though. This was really his swan song as far as live action movies go,
Yeah.
where he's leading it. Like this really was pretty much his last movie.
On that though, he's still acting, so he's doing
Yeah.
more like television
Sure,
shows.
sure,
now.
but I'm
He's
saying like as far as like a Michael J. Fox vehicle, this movie was pretty much
Yeah.
this was it.
Well, we knew him from TV and then Back to the Future, and then he had a bunch of films after that. So we knew him as a movie actor. So whenever he dropped off, went back to Spin City, went back to TV, and then just kind of slowly stopped doing stuff, and he does stuff sporadically now. It just kind of changed the game, but he's still like looms large in my mythology. Michael J. Fox is a movie star to me. Alcohol. David, what's your history with the movie?
I saw in the theater in '96. I didn't like it, and I recently watched it on Saturday, and I didn't like it.
Oh, wasn't expecting that
Bitch!
at all.
Whoa! You
I
suck for that
cannot.
opinion. That opinion
Wait.
is dumb.
No, this is gonna be great. Oh yes, I love it.
You're wrong and dumb for having that opinion.
I respect
Jakey,
your
Jakey.
opinion, but what you believe is dumb.
Jakey,
I
Jakey,
don't
what
even
you
respect
think?
this opinion.
What's your, no. Well, we'll see what his opinion is. I'm excited.
No, I'm
Jakey,
talking about
Jakey.
Jessup's. I don't respect
What
it.
is your history with this movie?
Like you, I saw the featurette maybe a few months before it came out in theater. I made my parents take me on opening night to go see it. I was about to turn 14. I've had every iteration of it on VHS, DVD, Blu-ray, and I have the digital copies on
about
both
Laserdisc?
of my systems. No, the only one that I didn't.
You mean you didn't get that on Betamax? Oh, come on, man.
I love this movie. That's all I'm going to say right now. We'll get into it.
Yes, Ethan, history with the movie today, right?
Today.
today.
Michael J. Fox, obviously, Back to the Future. Watched those all the times as a kid, so I love him as an actor. But yeah, hadn't seen this before today. But man, like, dude, this movie's not great, but it's fun.
I can't believe we got 2 out of
Fucking
6 that
bitch.
don't like this movie.
It's fun.
I'm shocked because I love it so much. Like, it's so much fun. Everything
is.
in it, the ghost, the third act chase scene, like it's so tight.
Yeah,
They're going back
but-
and forth.
But it's not horror.
Okay.
Neither is They Live.
Here's the thing.
And this is a horror podcast,
It's
so
a
I guess
horror-
we're fucking.
It's a
This is
I
ab-
horror.
this is absolutely
swear to
hard.
God,
It's a
you
horror
and Jessup
comedy.
need your opinions to have a number appear in their forehead.
Oh,
This movie
That's
is
funny.
this movie
That's
is
funny.
absolutely horror. It is almost
Horror.
textbook definition of a horror movie. It's funny, but it's absolutely a horror movie. I'll fight you in the streets.
do you think that just like in They Live? Do you think it's because we watched the director's cut and the added comedy, because the original cut doesn't have as much comedy in it? Do you think
This
that
could have been
changed
the
atmosphere?
original, and I wouldn't have been able to tell the difference. So
I think that there's a lot of added comedy, so
I-
I think that adds to it and it changes the vibe a little bit. So go ahead, Ethan.
for me, with They Live, I at least had that sort of childhood fear going into it, and that added to the tension for me. But with this one, at no point was I creeped out, getting the heebie-jeebies, on the edge of my seat. There was no terror, horror, suspense here whatsoever. It was like I was watching a R-rated Scooby-Doo mystery almost. So,
Wow.
Do you
Word,
think-
bro.
but that's a valid
hey,
point.
Well, talk about
It's
not being
fun.
scared. You sat through Thanksgiving.
Good movie.
you're
Well,
telling
that
me
bothered you?
Pumpkin pie didn't have you quaking in your boots?
No.
But the turkey, dude, the turkey. All right, here's the thing. I think that we were younger when we saw this. For at least the 4 of us that have fond memories of it, it is cartoonish. This is like a live action cartoon. I agree with that. And I think that the graphics haven't aged as well as they could have. A lot of it looks like PS1 era CGI. But you got to remember, Weta went from 1 computer and Heavenly Creatures to 35 on this to the Lord of the Rings. Go ahead, Jake. What were you?
I was going to say, yeah, a lot of the CGI doesn't hold up. There's one scene that I really did like that I think sticks out as one of the better pieces is whenever he throws the Gary Busey or Jake
Against the
Busey
wall?
face against the fucking cross on the shit and it's sliding down.
Yeah.
And they got his face on there perfectly.
Yes.
That
Yeah,
was
that
cool.
that scene was so fucking good.
And I like how they
It's
talk.
CGI
Like,
wise.
yeah, and I like how they talk like they know each other. Like he's like, you know, what's his name? Johnny Bartlett, and he's like,
Yeah.
"Come on, Frank," and I'm just like, "Oh, this is great."
Right.
The ghost effects though are good, right? When it comes to like,
Oh, they
most of
look
them.
great.
Yeah.
They look great. Jake Busey looked great with his burnt head from the electrocution
Yeah.
from the chair and
That was a
everything.
nice touch.
The old man who had the 12 carved in his head, he was alive whenever they carved the number into his
Lee
head.
Ermey?
Oh, Arlie Army is fucking great.
Dude,
Yeah, the funny part was they wrote that part to be like him, and then they couldn't get anyone who was close enough. It's the same story with Full Metal Jacket. Or yeah, that's the name of the movie, right? Yeah,
Full Metal
Now,
Jacket.
Doug,
Yeah.
that's an actor
Yeah.
you could say gone too soon, or we miss him.
yeah.
'Cause
But-
he's actually dead.
I mean,
Yeah.
but that's what I'm saying. This movie is full of character actors playing characters. That's what's fun about it, and everyone gets a chance to chew the scenery, and it's right there on the edge of being just a little bit too much. But that's what it makes it fun, I think.
can
And
we
so-
talk about that for a second? The
Sure.
casting in this movie is really star-studded, at least in my eyes. I mean, you've got, who did I write down here? Arlie Ermey, John Aston, who's the father of Sean
Yeah.
Aston, Michael J. Fox, Jake Busey, the son of Gary Busey, and then, of course, you can't forget Jim Fife, the son of the late Deputy Barney Fife from Mayberry, North Carolina.
You're an idiot.
Jim Fife was also in one of the greatest HBO shows of all time, Encyclopedia from 1988. He was one of the main actors, and that's where I remember him from. Do you remember that, Jake? Do you remember Encyclopedia?
Vaguely. I don't know. I remember
was a-
Encyclopedia Brown.
Yeah, it was an edutainment type thing going on HBO, and they take a different letter every week. And Jim Fife was like, he was like the stud on that show, and so he
Did
also
he
had a
dress up
couple
as
of
characters and shit.
Oh yeah, and then he also did those specials, those awesome specials on toys and whatnot, called "Buy Me That" and "Buy Me That 2" and "Buy Me That 3,"
Yeah,
where
I do remember those.
it exposed the way that marketing companies and toy companies just prey on children. It was pretty eye opening, and for the late '80s, it was you can find it on YouTube. It's yeah, I'm a big Jim Fife fan.
Sounds like he was like a Ken Burns for kids.
Yeah, he let
Pretty much.
Shy
You're
McBride
damn right.
played Cyrus also.
Oh yeah.
Was that the police chief? Is that who you're talking about?
Shy McBride?
Yeah,
No, he was Cyrus. He was the disco 70s ghost.
Yeah.
Danny McBride's stepfather.
Yeah, there you go.
Who played the police chief? That was the one that I kept going back to because, like I said,
he played the fucking coach of the Dolphins in Ace Ventura: Pet Detective. Roger Podacter.
Yeah, he's just I mean, all these guys are killing it, but there's 2 stars to this movie. Go ahead, Jake.
No, I was saying I think he's also the guy who gets a fist through the mouth in Demon Knight.
Yeah.
I'm watching Demon Knight right now on Stars. It's like playing in the background. I think I just saw him get punched in the face.
Yeah, it's him.
Nice. So yeah, go ahead, Jake.
Oh, never mind. Well, I didn't know where you're gonna.
Oh, I was just gonna say I think Michael J. Fox is really good in this, and I want to talk about him real quick, just because he was a star, and I couldn't help but feel over and over again. Every time I see Tom Holland, all I can think of is Michael J. Fox. Like, his version of Spider-Man is Michael J. Fox to me, and they're so close. But like, you can see the charisma and just how awesome he is at acting. His small little choices, like here and there, he's just such a natural, and he's so fucking watchable and likable. Because the character of Frank Bannister isn't necessarily a good guy in any way, shape, or form, and it's purely the charisma of Michael J. Fox that sells the character. And I don't know if other people played him because he's an asshole. He really is.
Kinda. I mean, he did lose his wife. So.
Yeah, but that doesn't give me.
That's not a free pass to be an asshole.
But
he really was a clairvoyant.
Yeah, I know, and that's the thing. Yeah, he did have the powers, but also the idea that he played it down.
And he's scamming people with it. He's having his ghost buddies go in and haunt people, so he
much
can
fun.
Clean them out and exorcise them from the house, and yeah.
I thought his prices were pretty reasonable, even for '96. I was like, $250. You could at least gotten a G out of people. Right. At least get a stack out of people. But it felt like Michael J. Fox was kind of going towards a lot of like those heelish roles, like Doc Hollywood, he's a dick. Life with Mikey, he's a dick. Greedy, he's a dick. Like, he's like, I'm not the nice guy you think I am, and he just kept trying to like shed that, and he kept trying to shake it, and the shakes didn't stop.
Ooh.
Shaky.
Damn.
Yeah, I'm not the one who called myself Shaky Jakey. I just had to get one in.
But I mean, I just realized that's what Shaky Jakey.
If he's doing J. McMichael Fox or whatever, I'm doing.
So I think he's really good in this though, and I don't understand. The one thing that really doesn't work is the love story, but I think that there is chemistry between the 2 actors, and so that was what makes it work. But boy, she just turned tail on her husband Ray like immediately, and
that guy was an asshole.
Yeah, he's a piece of shit. He lost $16,000 in a bad investment of hers.
I mean, but what a fun asshole. I love that guy. That guy
was a controlling prick. He always made her drink red wine whenever she liked white wine.
But he's so. I'm not saying the character's a dick.
The cornerstone of an abusive relationship.
Yeah. The actor though is so fucking good. The way he
that was Biff. He was just doing Biff.
He was Biff.
Thank you. He was pulling a Tom Wilson the whole time.
Which is Robert Zemeckis was the executive producer.
Yeah.
So it was very. Did you guys notice the maitre d' from Ghostbusters was also in this, or was I missing that? Okay, remember the guy that was at the hoity-toity place where the big green slime monster was at, and he was like, "I'm not going to pay you that money."
Yeah.
From Ghostbusters, I swear to God, he was at the hoity-toity at the museum. The museum, yeah. When the shit was, I swear to God, it was him, but I could be mistaken.
So, David, what didn't you like about this movie?
How long is this podcast?
As long as you need it to be.
I love hearing the other side of this. Yeah. I'm totally.
So I think I'm a huge fan of Peter Jackson, and back in those days I was a huge fan of his, Brain Dead, and then I fell in love with him with Heavenly Creatures, which I think is pure art. it introduces us to what's her face from the
Kate
Titanic.
Winslet.
Oh my God! So I think it's her first film, if I'm not mistaken. Fantastic movie. But I found this movie to be really incredibly not funny. I thought the jokes were awful. I thought they were really, really dumb. And then to me, it's and listen, I think there are some great performances in it. I love Jake Busey. Michael J. Fox is fantastic in it. The mom from E.T. Is really, I love
Dee
her
Wallace.
turn. Yeah, Dee Wallace is great in it. But I felt like it was, and also, when you're dealing with movies like this, you really need, I think it needs to be grounded in some level of explanation. I never really understood how Jake Busey wore the death mask, and I never understood why the Sith, he was able to use that to kill the other ghost. I never understood Michael J. Fox, how he controlled the other ghost to work with him. I never got that. It was just, and those two stories to me never blended together. They felt like two different movies. Michael J. Fox and his two buddies, going around being scanning people, and then the Jake Busey, which I love the Jake Busey serial killer thing. I like that a lot. I do like, and there, like I said, there's parts of it, but as a whole, I just didn't like it, man. I think really what turns me off is the comedy, and also where the fuck does this take place? Where is this place?
Technically New Zealand.
Yeah.
It is such a weird location because you have all these American people living there. There's parts of it that feel like an American type of suburbia, but then it feels like you're in an old English fishing town,
Right.
but then you feel like you're in New Zealand. It is such an odd location.
And you must have hated the Lord of the Rings.
I didn't have a reference point for.
I like Lord of the Rings, actually. Yeah.
I didn't have a reference point for New Zealand in '96, so I couldn't tell you that I thought I was there. But it's like we've already talked about in earlier casts, is that this was originally supposed to be a Tales from the Crypt episode.
Yeah, I didn't
Yeah.
And if you ask me, it's the best Tales from the Crypt movie that's ever been made.
I'm surprised it didn't slap Tales from the Crypt Presents.
When you look at it from that perspective, David,
It's a great movie.
Well, not only that, it is a great movie, but like I think for people like Jake and myself especially, this was targeted towards us.
Yeah,
Because
definitely.
at the same time, this movie also, a little funny fact, this movie also came out literally, I think, a week or two after the final Tales from the Crypt episode was ever aired. So
Yeah,
the very
after they went British. Boo.
this really felt like, to me, like the ultimate conclusion to Tales from the Crypt in a lot of ways. I really had that feeling. So for me, it was like a good send off. So I don't know. That's why it's one of the reasons I thought it just really, really nailed it for me.
I agree with that.
And it's cheesy and over the top, and I can understand the humor is dated though. I understand what David's saying, especially because there's a lot of racial humor in it. And then with the judge humping necrophilia a little bit, but he's already dead, so does that count? But I'm just like, you know what? This is fun.
That was actually pretty funny.
Did you want the writers to go into writing the Frighteners with the mindset, we got to make sure this movie's going to be still 16 years from now?
No, I would want the writers, and the writers were Peter Jackson and his writing partner,
Fran Walsh.
Yeah, Fran Walsh. I would want them to have a sense of humor. That's what I would want as they're writing comedy.
Oh, so you want another giant mommy zombie just sucking people into her stomach?
I would
want that
want
kind of
them.
highbrow humor.
I would want them
Or
to be
forbid
funny.
they straight try to do something different. No, Shane Peter Jackson. I want you
No,
what you gave me in Brain Dead.
it's just like when I go to a comedy club. All I want is a punchline. Give me a good punchline to set up the punchline. And this to me felt like it was almost like bad Three Stooges slapstick going on. It was a lot of that. And
Michael
So
Jackson.
whenever Special Agent Dammers gets his comeuppance and gets his head blown off, and just the apparition of his ghost head there, you didn't find that funny at all?
Oh no, I listen. That guy, I enjoyed that death a lot, and I found his scene, his stuff good.
His fucking chewed up the entire fucking scenery.
Yeah.
Every time he was on screen, he commanded your fucking attention.
Jeffrey Combs purposely putting a Hitler haircut on, and wearing black things. I think when I talk about the comedy, I think my main, what I mean by that is the comedy between Michael J. Fox and his two ghost buddies, and I never got into the whole the cemetery thing either. It was just, to me, it just, again, it's, it's just taste. What you find funny and what you don't find funny.
I
And
think
to
it's
me,
hilarious.
it just wasn't.
And I think
That's
it's
fun.
fun, and I think it's energetic, and I think it's just it for me. Like, and I think my adolescence plays into it too, because I saw this at the right age. Because
It's
watching it this
nostalgic,
time, yeah,
sure.
because watching it this time, I saw the faults in it. I saw, especially like I said, the director's cut. There's definitely pacing issues. There's plot holes galore. What are the fucking rules? You know, like you said before, he has the scythe. Is that what it's called? A scythe, I believe.
Ghost
Yeah, go ahead,
guns.
Jay. Yeah,
Ghost
and,
guns.
and he can
Ghost
ghost
guns.
Ghost
guns.
guns, too.
Yes.
Ghost
What are
guns.
the rules?
On top of that, when they freeze his body and they say he needs to be brought out at 9 o'clock sharp, they're in the graveyard at 8:58, and that is the longest 2 minutes. It's at least 10 minutes of 2 minutes.
Wow,
Don't
Jesus
worry
Christ,
about
Mom
that. Don't
was
worry
saying
about
you've
that.
never seen a fucking movie with a
And
countdown
how
button
close?
before, Ethan.
How
Have you
close is
seen
that
Right over
graveyard
here.
to that
this movie
fucking hospital?
before?
Like,
I am a big fan of when somebody in a movie says we have 5 minutes to do something. I am a big fan of whipping
I
out
will
my phone
time
and being,
them.
yeah, I go,
Yes.
oh, really? By the way,
Oh,
Alien
you
is
two are
off.
just a delight to watch movies with, aren't you?
hey,
Alien is off by 2 minutes on that countdown when the ship's about to blow up, by the way.
You know
Just so
who
you
doesn't do that shit and who stays sometimes though is Christopher Nolan.
Ah.
He does that every movie exaggerates those countdown timers and
Yes.
shit. Whenever he puts a fucking timer on there, that's the actual fucking time that the shit takes place in the movie.
And then
As it should.
in Tenet, they just
Yeah.
fucked that up completely because that movie sucked.
They still have
Uh,
the timers right though.
Oh,
I respect that, Christopher
Yep.
Nolan.
except for the car chase scene. That's pretty badass. But I'm gonna stick to it. Tenet's a terrible movie. Maybe we'll watch
Yes.
that.
Okay.
Oh,
I
well.
watched it. I watched it on an airplane, and I was like, I'm so glad I didn't pay for this.
In the movie theater, I turned into Hobby. I was on my phone. Hobby was watching it though. He's like, "Fuck yeah," he loved it. It was great.
Horrible sound.
Granted,
mixing.
I may have been going, what the fuck are they saying? But I had fun.
So, all right, back to the movie. It's the ghost stuff. I think the effects are really good, except for the Grim Reaper effect. It doesn't hold up as well. But I think there's certain times where he's literally menacing and terrifying, especially when he comes and he pulls out the scythe and he goes like that. Like in the sound and the music. We got to talk about the music. David said the
Danny
Beetlejuice type.
Elfman.
Yeah, Danny Elfman brings the fucking.
His music sounds the same in every fucking movie though, so you can't really. Like I didn't know
That's
if this
so
was,
true.
he borrowed the soundtrack from Batman Returns and just fucking placed it into here. Like you never fucking know.
Same is
Right.
also true for John Williams. It's not just Danny Elfman.
Shut the fuck up, Bobby.
They, they,
fucking
they all
no.
got that. They all got their signature. Like
Strike it.
Alan
They're not even
Silvestri.
cut from the same cloth. But you fucking
John
John Williams into
big
that fucking Danny
crescendo
Elfman
that
ilk.
scores.
Fucking goddamn blast.
Danny Elfman's that monkey turning that grinder sound. Like, but I love it.
It's
That
good.
Yeah,
though.
yeah. Who do
I
you
did
want
too.
to be today? Who do you want to be? That would have been badass in this movie if they busted out "Who do you want to be today" as like a montage. That could
Yeah.
have really saved it
But instead
different for
we
David.
get into Team Wolf 2.
Sorry, I'm going on a tangent.
No, you're fine. But that's the thing. Is we love this movie, so we're just
Yeah.
like add some more stuff to it. I'm more curious to Ethan. What was it you said? Just because it's cartoony, it didn't work for you, or what was it? What else?
I
didn't
went
work
in
for you?
expecting. I think I was kind of in a similar vein as Jessup here. I went in expecting to be scared, and it's not the kind of movie I was
no.
expecting.
You
Does
should
Peter
know
Jackson make scary movies? Though?
I know nothing about. Well, I mean, Dead Alive was more intense than scary, but it was a lot more dramatic.
I'm sorry.
Dead
I
Alive was
exactly
pretty
meant to
cartoony,
laugh
too.
at you.
There was a fuck ton more gore in that.
I'm not disagreeing with that.
It's still cartoony gore.
Yeah, still
It's
cartoony.
still cartoony as fuck.
I mean,
Still,
literally,
I
he
mean,
was running on the
Gore
blood. like a
can be
cartoon.
scary, and in that, it was just so disgusting and vile that it was uncomfortable, uneasy, unpleasant feelings that are associated with horror. With
You need
this
to get your
one,
priorities straight.
well, fuck you.
Hey, David, I got a question for you. Did you see this movie after you saw Heavenly Creatures?
Yeah.
So I'm not saying that definitely influenced you, but I saw Heavenly Creatures too, and you look at Heavenly Creatures from Brain Dead, and you're like, wow, this director has made a turn, and then so like you go from that back to this. If I put myself in your mindset, I could definitely see where you're coming from. I really could. So I don't hate your opinion at all, man. I totally get it. Because
have you guys
hate his opinion?
Have you guys all seen Heavenly Creatures?
No, I've been holding off on it because
I highly recommend it. It's actually it's also based on a true story.
Right.
But I highly recommend it. It's a really good movie.
It's about a couple of girls who become killers, right?
Yeah, matricide. They commit matricide.
What's matricide?
Whenever you
kill your
get
mother.
a tag off the mattress and it says you're gonna go to jail.
Hey, Jake, you saved that shit for Ethan, bro.
Too scary, man. It's too scary.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that this movie in a way is a spiritual sequel to Brain Dead and Meet the Feebles, which are very similar too. And this movie, I think, in location, music, pacing, stuff like that, and the sense of humor, I think is close in a lot of ways to those movies, which is a very, I think, you have to have a taste for that, bad taste for that, maybe even. But it's one of those things that I think that you have to kind of enjoy that kind of movie. And for me, it's just, this holds up in a lot of ways because of the third act. And I'm curious to see what you guys think on that. Good, Jake. What are you thinking?
I was gonna say, obviously, I don't take this movie seriously.
No.
Like, I know it's a fucking joke. Like the entire thing is a fucking joke. But there was one scene that like just totally sealed the deal for me, where I was like, okay, this is like totally make believe. Is whenever she hits Agent Dammers with the fire extinguisher in the corner, and like he's trying to catch Michael J. Fox or whatever. And he falls down in the corner, and Michael J. Fox walks up and he kicks him, and the gun shoots up in the air.
Yes!
It's just like, okay.
Love it. Love it. It's one of my favorite. I didn't clip that either.
Just like a boom, and then,
Oh, there it is.
done.
And the thing
Nice.
is, Jeffrey Combs, I don't even know if you need his character in this movie. His character do you think it's required for this movie to work?
I don't think. I think I agree with. I think I agree with David on this as well. I think towards the end of the movie, he's kind of the glue.
You think?
He's the best part of this whole movie.
Oh,
I
for
agree with
sure.
you. Yes.
Yeah, like I would disagree, Duck. I don't think this movie's the same without him at all.
I heard he
think
actually
he adds
had all
to the
those
fight.
shit carved
It's like
into his
watching
chest for
Sonic
real.
without Jim Carrey. It's just like worthless.
Yeah, exactly. I think you're dead on right too,
I'm
Avi.
happy about that reach you made, but that was a reach, Hobbs. Like
It holds water. That movie falls apart without Jim Carrey. This movie falls apart without
Jim Carrey, because he's Jim Carrey.
They channeled Jim Carrey. He looks like him also in certain scenes. Like, holy fuck. Like,
he reminds me of Ace Ventura, Jim
Yeah.
Carrey. Like, but creepy. And I guess Ace Ventura is kind of creepy.
This movie does have a weird mask feel to it.
yeah.
You know, there's parts of it that feel, and I think that's another problem I have with it is I think tonally, it's like got two different tones. Because if you watch the scenes with the mother and the daughter in the house and the stuff with the serial killers, it's really dark. You know, it's really, really dark. But then it has this really wacky side to it, which to me is just such a weird juxtaposition to go
The
with.
third act did a really good job of kind of leaning more into that dark tone,
I
especially.
love the flashback at the hospital.
Oh,
Yeah.
so good.
That
so
was
good.
cool.
And also, I love the fact that they referenced real serial killers.
Oh, yeah.
Starkweather, the Russian guy, fucking.
Didn't they mention
Gacy.
Yeah, Gacy.
Yep. But that's I think the third act of this movie is the strongest. I think the first and the
Oh
third.
yeah.
And that's what's so much fun. And we didn't talk about the numbers yet, you know, that's the kind of the mystery of the numbers glowing on the head. And why they didn't make that connection, I don't know, but plot holes once again. Go ahead, Ethan.
Yeah, that was a plot hole I kind of picked up on. Is they did a good job of mentioning he was keeping track of points for every kill, but they didn't mention conveniently that every victim he carved in the number on their head until it became relevant. And then when people started showing up with numbers on their heads again, his wife being number 13.
Yeah, he
They
should have
just
put
kind
that
of
together.
assumed he was picking up the mantle of this killer.
Wasn't she the only one though?
No, they carved into everyone's head.
No.
No,
The only one that he carved like after he was dead.
Right.
Yes.
That's
She was the lone one.
because
yeah.
it was
the FBI guy
it
should
was
have picked up
the
on.
girlfriend, the wife that did
ET's
it.
mom.
Yeah.
And
She who did it. For some reason, she was there at the scene of the crash.
I know that was real convenient.
Oh,
Yeah, she
also-
must have been following her.
Also, they have a tactical shotgun in their house with a fucking flashlight that they could just slap on anytime, you know.
Dude, did you see the way Dee Wallace was running through that fucking insane asylum hospital, with just sliding across the floor shooting? She went from being like super timid to fucking psycho.
She
Linda
was in
Hamilton.
Yeah, she fucking and that's what I mean. I think this movie has some really good performances in it.
Mhm.
You know.
I
Well,
think
yeah,
that
whenever
she-
she's talking to Johnny, and
Yeah.
homegirl's there, and she doesn't realize that she's doing all that shit with her hands, like,
Mhm.
yes, I agree. And she goes to the kitchen, she's like, fucking do-gooder, bitch. Yeah, dude.
By the way, was that like the cheap Andy McDowell actress they hired?
Yes,
Yes, that's what it
totally.
was. Yeah, they couldn't get her.
They couldn't get
Totally.
Andy McDowell. They're like,
Yeah.
get her.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was definitely one of the weakest parts. I thought. Yeah, she was. Yeah, definitely my least favorite in the whole movie was her.
I haven't seen her in anything else other than this movie,
Yeah.
so.
Yeah.
and she overacts just like everyone else in this movie. Everyone just gets.
Everybody's chewing scenery. I just went
it's
chewing
awesome.
scenery with the guys.
She's like nibbling at scenery. She's like,
so
I'm here.
Fun though.
I'm here.
it's- All right. Yeah, but the chase scene going back and forth, seeing the flashback of like the actual murders, I thought was great. How he's like kind of zoomed out or zoned out into it, and then she's like, "Hey, Frank," and he's seeing it, and then the way he comes back and everything. Michael J. Fox plays everything like it's normal. That's what makes it work. Because even when he's zoned out and he comes back, he doesn't say like, "I just back to the past."
Okay,
back to
so
the
you're
future.
talking about where he's about to actually kill Death with the scythe, and he gets zapped back, and he just wakes up and he's like,
Yeah.
yeah, dude, that show was fucking solid as hell, I thought.
Oh yeah,
That was
dude.
cool.
And I thought that was cool too. And that's when I was kind of like, what are the rules? Because I don't know. Because
Yeah,
even with
they
the
just
ghost-
borrowed from Flatliners at that point.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I never saw Flatline.
And by the way, was it a bad choice to have Michael J. Fox, all of 4'11", build a basketball court as part of a plot line?
No, he was in Teen Wolf. He was an amazing basketball player.
Either that or he realized and that's why he fucking gave up on it also.
Yeah.
Shit, what am I doing, dude? I'm not even-
Maybe he was just really
Play
inspired
basketball.
by
He,
Muggsy
he
Bogues.
won the game, David. Come on, get with it.
And by the way, I watched Teen Wolf in the theater.
Did you hate that one too?
Dude, when I saw that in the theater, I thought that was the coolest fucking
It
thing.
still is.
You, David, you strike me as very much a Miles.
Still
Were
is.
you, did you, were
Yes.
you a big Miles fan?
I was a big Miles fan.
Fuck
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I remember my brother and I, we went and saw that in the theater. We dressed up and we wore our Miami Vice jackets to go see that theater.
Pimping.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Did you notice the guy with his dick out at the very end?
I did not.
Okay. Moving
Ethan's
on.
like, what is that? No, that's it happens, dude. Guys
Everybody
will always
rushed
think
to
it's
find
him.
the scene.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen Teen Wolf, Ethan?
No.
That was
Oh,
You'll hate it.
Yeah, you
That
should
was
watch
the Michael J. Fox 1-2 punch of Teen Wolf and Back to the Future, right? They came out the
Yeah.
same year.
oh yeah.
Yep.
I think they were both.
Oh no!
Oh,
That face is
Yay!
priceless.
Oh.
Jake Busey got him.
Well, yeah, let's talk about Jake Busey real quick. Let's talk about the teeth. I mean, because he's got them. He is over the top fun. I mean, and he's just he comes across as a serial killer. And this is the movie I know most from. I think after that would be Starship,
Troopers.
which I love too.
But why the fuck isn't Jake Busey bigger than? Why didn't he get? I mean, he was so good. He's so good.
Yeah, I
He
had
did
no idea.
a little show called Shasta McNasty, I think, is
Oh.
what put the coffin in him there.
Okay.
Yeah. How about the
Tom
end?
Cats.
How about the end of
Starship
the movie?
Troopers.
Whenever
Which is
I
a great movie, but cheesy as fuck.
love
It's meant to be
Starship Troopers.
cheesy though.
Yeah, it's
so
meant to be
good.
like a 1950s
Yeah.
movie.
It's
Yeah.
supposed to be fucking propaganda. Fucking.
Yeah.
Yep.
You gotta admit,
Paul
Jake-
Verhoeven knew what the fuck he was doing. Okay, don't.
Do you want to know more?
Find out
I
now.
love.
I'm
I
doing
love
my
Starship
part.
Troopers. Yes.
So
Oh,
good,
so good.
so good. Holds up. All right, so the end of the movie.
That's
They
more
go-
of a horror movie than this.
If it, if
Yeah.
it qualifies as, we might need to do a sci-fi month and just get those movies out of the way. But so the end of this movie, he goes
Wait,
to
you're
heaven,
not seriously considering Starship Troopers?
bro. It's one of the greatest movies ever made.
Have you
seen
seen
it?
it?
This is
Have
a
you seen-
horror movie podcast.
Sci-fi month. Sci-fi month.
Sci-fi horror.
Yeah.
We watched
sci-fi.
Alien.
It
That
is
was sci-fi
sci-fi
horror.
horror.
Yeah,
Yeah,
sci-fi.
sci-fi.
horror.
Yeah,
It's a
dude,
genre.
Event Horizon,
Sci-fi horror
I'll give you a
with Slash
pick,
heavy
dude.
action.
All right, Ethan, we won't do it.
Sphere.
No, I don't care if we do it, but They Live is a horror movie because we're doing this shit.
Sci-fi
Just
horror
know,
also.
you don't even have to admit it. You don't have to admit it at all. I know.
Ethan,
I was on your
Mr.
side with
Krabs
this.
is in is in Starship Troopers.
That's great. But you know
Yeah.
what? They Live will be a horror movie.
Michael
It's still a
Eyes
bad
of
Ironside.
this
movie, though. You can
podcast.
call it horror all you want, it's still bad.
Michael Ironside was in Starship Troopers and he was in Scanners. Therefore, Starship Troopers is a horror movie.
Yep.
It's so
My
good.
mind got blown like
There
Scanners.
you go.
So
You
good.
just became my favorite person on this podcast.
All right, let's talk about the end of the movie, and then we'll get to clips.
And see
He
if we can
dies,
go back in here. if at all
Goes to
possible.
heaven, dies, goes to heaven, right? And then they think they're going to be able to go back and get more. They're like, "We're going back. We're getting some." And then hell happens. Did that?
That was
scare you?
cool.
Did that? You like that?
I
Scary.
thought that was kind of cool.
Yeah, I like that too. It freaked me out. Made me just bothered me. What are the rules though? How did he get out of hell in the first place? That's the other thing I don't know.
He never went. You have to go through the portal to the great beyond.
Yeah.
He never
So you're
won.
saying
had
he was
business
just
on
hanging
Earth.
out?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Oh.
He
yeah,
wanted to
you have
beat the
either
record.
choose to follow whichever path, like the light will take you up into the heavens, but it'll still also depart you to fucking hell. Also, you just have to leave.
Do you want to move on or fuck with the living?
Yeah,
Little boy,
so-
you're going to hell.
That's right.
And then at the end we get to see Dammers in the car, and that's the final joke. He looks pissed, but I mean, every scene with him in it was awesome. So I'll take more Dammers all the way.
Oh, now I have the power also.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're equals.
No
Yeah.
sequels. Never will be one. Jay, hopefully he comes back in. Guys, anything else you want to say about the movie though? I mean, I know we kind of went back and forth, but I absolutely love it, and it's fun, and it's just so
I got
good.
something on the ending, unless y'all got something.
Go ahead,
on it,
Ethan.
too.
No, go ahead.
Yeah, the ending did not work for me at all.
Yo,
They
dude.
should have let Michael J. Fox die.
Yeah,
That
he
would've-
did.
'cause-
Yeah,
well, stay dead.
Oh,
They
Stay
should've.
dead.
yeah. He
Because
should have stayed up there
here's
with
the
his
thing.
wife.
He should have stayed up there with his wife, but also, how did the lady kill him? She crushed his fucking
Yeah.
throat.
He
No,
got
she
shot by an Uzi,
choked him
bro.
out. No, she fucking choked him out. That's it. He just
His
lost
throat
brain.
is dead. So he wakes up, he takes a slow breath, his eyes flutter open. How?
yeah, there's so many.
fucking
There's,
tube
I know. There's so many rules that
Yeah.
so many rules are broken and not explained. And
It's a
Yeah.
live action cartoon.
On
It's
top
There
of
you
that,
go.
it just would have
movie.
made
There you
it would have
go.
been way more satisfying if he got his happy ending. He got to go to an afterlife with his wife, who he clearly missed. Didn't go with this lady who, yes, she had a bad marriage, but didn't she lose her husband like just the other day?
Yes.
But
Yeah, but he was a dick, remember?
Yeah, she hated
she hated him.
Listen, she
it's
hated
okay.
this.
My dead
Yeah.
wife said, "Live my
Listen.
best life. Let's
Listen.
get together."
You'll someday, hopefully it never happens. But
Oh,
I've been
oh,
in
but by
many
the way,
relationships
Did
where I
you
had
find
that.
it really weird when they're talking and then all of a sudden they're at a restaurant? Like there was no like, should we go to a
Medieval times.
restaurant? Yeah,
We're back.
there was no like going to medieval times.
No,
It
no,
was
no.
just like-
There
they
was a
just-
setup. There was a setup. Ray said that their anniversary was coming up, and he got a reservation at Excalibur, which was their thing. So it was
Oh my
set up.
gosh! So they went with his resume.
Yes,
See,
they
oh,
did.
you know what happened? That must be the director's cut because I watched it on Amazon Prime, the regular version,
Uh-huh.
and there's no mention of Ray going to Excalibur. They're at the what do you call it? The graveyard. In the next shot, they're eating at Excalibur.
He
Oh,
mentions
yeah.
Very
Excalibur
weird.
like 3 or 4 scenes
Scenes
before.
before it, yeah.
But yeah, I
Oh,
think
okay.
that was probably if you didn't catch that at all. In
Yeah, it was just very strange. It's like, oh, I guess they're having dinner now.
I
at a
feel
restaurant.
like I should have prepped Ethan by saying it was a horror comedy instead of being like it's a horror movie because
you can't even put horror first, dude.
it's
This is
definitely
comedy.
with a sprinkling of horror.
It's a comedy ghost cartoon live action movie.
Yeah.
There you
I
go.
think that's about right.
Yeah.
Horror with a little H.
Yeah.
I mean, dude, listen. If you look at the hospital scenes, the serial killer scenes, I would say that's definitely horror in there, especially towards the end. And,
Well,
and
yeah,
there's some. And that opening scene, even though the CGI doesn't hold up well with the walls coming
It
alive,
was still cool.
that was still pretty cool. Yeah.
You know which effect would have looked really good if they had the technology for it then? Is the painting scene.
Yeah.
Whenever he's in the fucking painting and then it pops out the opposite side to attack him back.
Yeah.
That's how he fucking gets him out of the death robe.
That was pretty rough looking, man.
But that would have been so. I see what they were trying to do there.
Yeah,
that would have been so fucking cool.
Well, this movie was part of those movies in the early '90s or the mid '90s where they had the technology, but it just wasn't honed enough yet.
Right.
Yeah.
It wasn't at that level the way it is now. And this would be a great. I think it would be wonderful to see what they can do with the technology now.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
If they have any of the original film or something, you don't even have to go back and recast it and completely remake it. See if you can just go back, touch up the CGI.
Yeah.
Give us the Jackson Zemeckis cut.
Yeah.
There you go.
Dude, I bet there's some kid on Reddit right now that could probably do that.
Just tweaking and manipulating.
Yeah.
Well,
of course.
There is unfinished ghost scenes because the judge actually doesn't get killed. He actually was supposed to be in scenes after that in the graveyard. He was supposed to help him defeat the death version. And there are the deleted scenes you can watch online of it.
Rick Baker did the ghost special effects.
Isn't that crazy that it's Gomez Adams though?
Yeah.
Playing the fucking judge.
You know what else is crazy is Michael J. Fox kept calling him Doc.
That's right.
Instead of judge. And you can tell like on the one scene whenever the judge gets fucking cut in half and he yells out judge, like you could tell he wanted to fucking yell Doc, like so fucking mad right there.
Yeah.
I remember looking stuff up online. There were some scenes that were almost shot for shot of Back to the Future. Like where he's eating a sandwich and talking on the phone.
Yeah.
There's a lot of like
where he runs out of the restaurant and he's looking frantic.
Yeah, very Back to
I
the
was
Future.
waiting for the fucking chase music.
I mean,
that would be a cool Reddit.
Also in the trivia, they were talking about how he tried to get a PG-13, and no matter what he did to change it, they wouldn't give him a PG-13. So that's why the Dammer's head explosion is so graphic at the end, because he said,
like, "Yeah, let's make it,
yeah.
R."
But I think
what
that
in this how had it hold that hard R if that head explosion wasn't it?
No, they were like there was too many gunshots in the doors and stuff.
Oh, they couldn't handle Ghost Michael J. Fox with his dual fucking LMGs, just unloading on death. Okay, sure.
It definitely feels like a PG-13 though. It doesn't.
I know. I was surprised when I was watching it. I was like, "This is R."
Yeah.
I was really surprised. I don't think if it came out today that they would give it R.
This would be PG by today's standards.
It's because it's Scooby-Doo, like you said earlier.
Yeah.
All right.
Super wacky.
Do we recommend it, guys? I 100% recommend this movie. It's fun. I know the comedy doesn't work for you guys or for David, but it works for me. It's a high energy movie. It's 2 hours, but it doesn't feel like 2 hours. I don't feel it's quick and did it feel like 2 hours? I don't know, man. I'm on the ride, but like I
can
said,
judge that based on like, am I constantly looking and seeing how long's left in the movie?
Yeah.
This is one of those I did that.
Oh, your generation watches YouTube. What do you know?
Dude, I sit and watch like 50, 60-minute YouTube videos, hour and a half. Time does not matter to me. Can it hold my attention for the length of time it's asking?
Are you actually watching those 50 or 60 minutes? Or are you doing something?
You can't go a whole episode without Will recommending.
Oh, it's too late. We're not even there yet.
We're not even recommending yet.
We're not even
recommending.
We're still watching the movie.
What are y'all even doing?
We're just before clips. We're rating.
We're talking about if we recommend. I said I recommend it. I think it's a great fucking movie. I think it's so much fun. Will, you just popped in. It's good to see you. Hello.
Because you can't go a whole episode without Will recommends.
I know we can't. So that's Will, you Frighteners. What do you have to say about it?
I don't care about that. Listen to this.
No, we're not there yet. You're a fan
clips yet.
You are a fan of the Frighteners.
Oh, you haven't done clips? I don't have time to stay. I just came in to do this.
Okay, well, just do it real quick. Okay, do it real quick.
So, brand new movie on Shudder. This really should be called "What Did Will Watch This Week?" Because Game of Death It's a really good movie on Shudder. It's about a bunch of shitty millennials that you just won't like as characters, but they play a board game which makes them kill people. And if they don't kill people, they get murdered themselves by the board game in the most horrific ways. Like it is a wonderful gore fest with characters you don't like, and it's
Nice.
great. And then number 2, The Night Eats the World. It's not like a crazy intense movie. It's a zombie movie. You ever seen 28 Days Later? Everyone's seen 28 Days Later, right? This is a side quest. Like it feels exactly like 28 Days Later, just in a different apartment. That's it. All right. Fuck off. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Bye, Will.
Back to our regularly
He
scheduled
wasn't
podcast.
joking. He was only jumping in for that.
That's awesome.
Javi, do you recommend the movie?
Yes.
Yes.
All right. Fair enough. Jakey, you recommend the movie?
Yes.
That's
Yes.
a big time.
Yes.
Oh, here we go. David, do you recommend the movie?
I would recommend this movie as a watch Michael J. Fox in his final lead role of a feature film.
Right on.
That's
And yeah, he's good. He's damn good. Ethan, do you recommend the movie? Be honest.
Yes, I actually do recommend the movie. It is not a horror movie. Don't go in expecting that like I did. Go in expecting a cheesy 90s comedy movie with a little bit of, scary, creepy stuff in there. Ooh, ghosts. But it's mainly a comedy. This is mainly a comedy.
This is mainly a movie that tries to be a comedy.
It tries to be a comedy. Some of the jokes landed for me. Not all of them did. But overall, of the 2 thumbs up I can give, it gets 1.
Right on.
Hey everyone, it's just Duck jumping in here real quick to say thank you so much for checking out the podcast today. If you're enjoying it, head over to your favorite podcast app, Spotify, Stitcher, Podbean, or iTunes, and give We Are Podcast Network a like. And just so you know, the next section of the podcast will be clips from the movie, so you can find replays of the live video stream at twitch.tv/We Are Podcast Network and youtube.com/We Are Podcast Network. Once again, all links can be found in the description. Come check out our live stream every Monday at 8 p.m. And for a full list of future films, check out our social media. You can find us at Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at /We Are Podcast. And with that, back to the Horrorcast.
All right, guys, let's go to clips. Do you see him there, Ethan?
Yes, sir.
All right, let's clip it up. Demonic Wall.
It's wrong. She's too young.
She looks like Mom from Futurama.
She does look like Mom from Futurama.
Especially towards the end, she's got those fingerless gloves on and her hair's done up like fucking Mom.
She also kind of looks like a Dracula from
Bram Stoker's
Yeah,
Dracula.
like Gary Oldman.
Gary Oldman is Dracula.
From Futurama and Magda from There's Something About Mary all combined.
Yeah. There you go.
She does look like Magda.
She probably got the fucking titties too.
Yeah.
The wicked will be punished.
If you look at the wallpaper in this place, there's a lot of bubbles and shit in it, and I think it's because they actually tried doing practical effects with things coming out of the wall, but in these long shots, you'll see it, and it just looks like shit, like it's all hanging off the wall, so they do these
Right.
quick pans, you don't fucking really get to tell, but one of the things I've noticed in the background while
Yeah, you
watching
can
it there.
definitely see it.
By the way, how does she not get any pellets in her face from that fucking shotgun blast?
Magic shotgun, bro.
Jesus.
Magic
That's a
shotgun.
buckshot, not birdshot.
Yeah, no, they're fucking slugs.
Woo! Getting scared, the Frighteners. There it is. I like this. This is a little character thing, tossing the cards. Thought that was a good little character.
I love the one sticks on the umbrella.
Yep.
Did it really?
Yeah, go back.
Yeah, sure did.
Was that Jay?
Yes, it was.
Sure.
Oh yeah,
Really?
it's totally sitting on it.
I've been here all the time. Yeah, I'm talking about.
So this is what I'm saying. This New Zealand thing here. This is the same graveyard that was used in Dead Alive too. So that's why I say in some ways it's a spiritual.
Oh, is it
successor.
really the same one?
Uh-huh. Yep.
Because it took place in the same movie, in the same country.
The same.
The same
continuity.
Might have been.
same
Might be in the
Dead
same
Alive.
universe. How cool would that
Yep.
be?
That would be
That would be
badass.
really cool.
This wouldn't happen. This news reporter would not say this way. There's no way.
As they threw the switch, he was heard to scream, "I got me a score of 12. Beat that."
Yeah, maybe if they were watching hard copy or something.
Oh, I miss hard copy, bro.
Oh my god!
Hard copy was the
What
shit.
a flash! Did you love the old VHS the VHS holder that she had? It was that old giant plastic VHS container.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
The bed. Notice the Elvis there? The guy who's the husband.
You mean the thing in front of the screen?
Yeah,
I never noticed that.
No, the husband played Elvis in Forrest Gump. That's why they put that in there.
No, he didn't.
Really?
Yes, he did.
No, he didn't.
Oh, no, it was Kurt Russell, wasn't it?
I was going to say Kurt Russell did.
Yeah, Kurt Russell played. Well, no.
Kurt Russell
All right.
played Elvis in a TV movie directed by John
Kurt
Carpenter.
Russell played
He also
Elvis
played-
in Forrest Gump.
Kurt Russell played.
All right, I'll break.
He
this
played
down
an
for you a
Elvis
second.
impersonator in Graceland. 3 Days to Graceland.
3,000
3,000 miles to
Grace.
Graceland.
All right, give me just a second. I'll break this tie.
All right.
No, I didn't say he didn't play him in Forrest Gump. I know he definitely played him in a TV movie directed by John Carpenter. That's all I said.
Which is a great movie, by the way.
Yeah,
That's
absolutely.
a great Elvis movie.
Absolutely.
Did the bed levitate?
Yeah, with me
The
on it.
bed levitate?
Spontaneous recurrent psychokinesis.
Peter Dobson.
Oh, this
Yep.
That's the husband.
Although I see something here that says Kurt Russell voiced him in Forrest Gump.
That's
Boom. We were
should rub
both
it in
right.
jail.
Everybody wins.
So,
Everybody wins. Nerd of the month. Go.
Yeah, that's right. From the Frighteners, he was physically Elvis.
So I never noticed he was making the puke noises to make him puke until I watched it this time.
What?
Yep.
That's a little fun little flubber shot there.
Man, I hate that Trump.
Why? I just like the effects. That's why a lot of these are just the effects.
Yeah.
Like, that's fun.
Yeah, that is.
Kid, help us out.
So, come on, kid, you gonna help us out? Are you with us?
So that's Peter Jackson's son.
See, he gets it.
He gets it. The kids always get it. That's Peter Jackson's nanny / mistress.
Yeah.
Whoa, damn, yeah, man. This one did like poo-poo.
this one made me fucking laugh. This was good.
Dude, smell like old shoes.
So, how did... the scene is very infuriating to me because she finds the newspaper after all this shit happens. And she's
And she
like,
still
oh,
doesn't
you're a
believe it."
con man. It's like, who the fuck is doing this?
And you point and tell me where the wires are,
He's got
bitch.
all this money, and if you don't believe he's a con man, you got to be investigating his ass for his fucking skills that he's... I don't... Oh.
Plot holes, man.
Yeah, I know, because there was never like it, because she never said, oh, you're a con man who controls ghosts mysteriously
Yeah.
from the grave. She just pulls up the newspaper.
Yeah. So all that was bullshit. I must have been hallucinating because you're a con guy who's been running around the town. Trying to...
And the ghosts that were sitting down were acting like she scolded them.
Yeah,
You know,
like
yeah.
it's not worth it, man. She knows.
She knows, man. She knows.
Yeah.
Actually, that part kind of reminded me a lot of Drop Dead Fred.
Yep. Yeah. I can
Oh,
see
the
that.
vibe is Drop Dead Freddish almost. God, that's a fun movie.
I was
Ray-
reminded of Raising Arizona.
Yeah, that too.
I was reminded of the Addams Family's values.
Ray is dead.
What is happening to me? Well, Ray, you appear to be dead. Like Corridor.
Notice he deteriorates more and more throughout the movie. Also.
Yes, he does. Yeah.
He gets fucking. That's fucking cool as shit.
Way to the other side. Because I don't belong on the other side. Jesus Christ, I'm only 29. Hey.
The acting between the ghost and like Michael J. Fox is seamless, and you know they weren't on the set at the same time. You know what I mean? So it's just how good he is at this is unbelievable to me. But like even that right there.
He's really good at playing it off like it's natural.
Who's got noise playing in the background? Somebody's playing something. Can you turn it off, please? Thank you. All right, The Frighteners. Just the name of the movie. Arlie
What
McGurry.
the hell are you doing in my graveyard.
Charlie Ermy.
I said his name wrong.
Stay away! Sound off like you've got up here! You cannot bring your spooks in here without my permission! Disappear, scumbag!
Oh, it's somebody's audio is playing on their screen. Can you turn down your screen?
So the only thing that bothers me about this is they named him Hiles.
Did they?
Well, yeah, his name is Hiles in it, and it should have been Sergeant Hartman from Full Metal Jacket. That would have been so much fucking better if they just.
Like I said, they look for actors to play the part, and they're just like, nah, let's just get him.
Yeah.
But I like how he transforms. It's like seamless between the different versions.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Gear
The
to the
riot gear,
Not push spirits
boxer.
around!
Yeah.
You are
It's pretty cool.
scum! Using spooks to put the frighteners on people!
There's the name of the
Makes
movie.
me physically ill!
Roll credits.
Boom. 38.
So I don't understand. That's also part of the rules, but how is he able to put the number on their head before he actually fucking kills them?
He's
Like,
projecting the number onto them.
right, I get that, but
ghost
he
magic.
does it from I don't know, whatever. Go on.
Ghost magic.
Ghost magic.
Like goat magic.
There's some ghost magic. There's also a scene before this I didn't clip where the guy is peeing, but it's like the camera angle. You should see his dick, but you don't see his dick, which is probably.
He turns around, he's like, "Good food, huh?"
Yeah. So I was just like, I'm not gonna clip that just in case you can see.
That effect
Dammers!
would be really cool if it was just a little bit more realistic.
Yeah, they
come
almost
on.
nailed it. It was right.
It was right there.
Yeah.
Like that mirror almost looks good. The Reaper almost looks good.
They should have got fucking James Cameron's Abyss people to do the mirror shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ethan, this movie was released before you were born, dude. We didn't have computers.
What?
Damn
This is all done on an abacus.
Good reference. Hey, Andy McDowell.
It does look
Hey,
like it.
it's not Andy McDowell. Hey, what's up, not Andy McDowell?
I love Dammers so much.
Dude,
There
yeah,
he is.
the way he
You-
freaks
you
out
could
about
call
women
him-
going-
You could call him almost Bruce Campbell too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I didn't feel good about the plane.
No, do you think that's like fucking Jim Carrey's older brother right there?
Yeah.
Well, that Jim Carrey said that he used a lot of the inspiration for his physical acting from Evil Dead 2, so that makes even more sense.
Well, that's
Oh,
so
wow. I didn't
Yeah,
know that.
dude.
That's cool.
Precisely. Did Bannister leave for the bathroom? Did he use excessive amounts of table salt during his meal?
What?
Answer the question.
For Christ's sakes, it's really late. I can't remember that, okay?
That's definitely some Jim Carrey shit. Right?
What's this?
Did you notice the weird acting tick she has where she looks down a lot?
Yes.
Does she
It's-
really?
Yeah,
Yes.
she looks
yes.
down when she's acting. She is like not making eye contact with the actors. It's really
Reading
weird.
her lines.
Yeah, I guess. Probably.
Post-it notes on the floor.
I have a problem with women yelling. Milton
Yeah,
King.
we know, bro.
Sheriff Perry, you are violating my territorial bubble. Bubble.
Just
And
awesome.
also, how are you an American sheriff in a small New Zealand town?
I didn't even know they had sheriffs in small New Zealand towns.
Let alone American ones.
What's the FBI doing overseas? Come on, keep take care of our own shores.
the number
You
13.
know what was really bizarre? Deborah's corpse had the number 13 carved into its forehead.
Okay, so why didn't they put that together? Like, obviously,
Right.
this guy is a fucking serial killer. They know that's his trademark. Who's the only surviving person that would have done
Right.
this? Oh, his fucking ex, who's living with her mom because she didn't go to jail because she was a minor.
Right.
What the?
Why didn't they? It's a huge plot hole.
God
Why
damn
didn't
it,
they put
Peter
that
Jackson.
Because they're from New Zealand with an American sheriff, and it's just not very smart.
Something else I'd like to point out here is if you look just very closely at him, you can't really see his eyes. It looks
He's
like
wearing
this giant
contacts.
pupil.
Yeah.
Like holy shit.
Yeah.
Especially whenever he's in front of the police car and he thinks that he's turning it on by himself.
Oh yeah.
You look at his pupils and they're fucking
Gigantic.
huge.
Yeah. It's contacts. He wanted to do that for the character to show.
It's
Yeah.
fucking hardcore drugs.
Oh no, dude.
Say it's contacts.
He's on cocaine, acid,
He's
and
a fucking
PCP.
method actor, dude. A meth head actor.
Well, if you read the novel, you would know that he basically.
The novel. I knew it. The novel's
unlucky for some.
Unlucky for some.
Look down.
All right. It's gotta
Well, I
happen.
mean, if that guy was fucking trying to make eye contact with me, I'd be looking down also.
Oh yeah.
Judge.
Bannister, stop. Looks like I ain't shooting with blanks no more. Mighty fine woman. Good teeth. They don't
Got a
call
total
me the hanging
House
judge
2 vibe.
for nothing.
That's a good dick joke. Look,
Solid
there he
dick
is.
joke.
There he is. That's a guy from Ghostbusters.
Let's go back and see.
He's like telling people to get back.
Oh, I missed it.
You got to run it back a little further than you think you do.
My bad.
Right there, that guy.
The blonde guy?
The hanging judge for nothing.
The guy right here.
Oh yeah, it is.
How can you say he does when he's like a blur that's turned?
No, I saw.
Can't
before-
identify a man
I
by
saw
the back of
before
his
I
head?
paused.
Look at that potato
Right
face.
there.
That guy's got
Not
quite the
bad.
resume.
Not
Maitre
bad.
d' in New York,
And this is
museum
this is-
curator in New Zealand. This
This
guy
is
is the most
Jake
interesting
Busey.
man in the world.
That's Jake.
And then you
Busey's
got
son.
Lyle Lovett over here. This is
Yep,
pretty awesome.
Right there. Good pull, Lyle Lovett.
Is that Lyle Lovett?
Good pull, man.
Where's Julia Roberts?
I like it when they lie still like that.
Creepy.
That's kind of creepy. That's a good rape joke.
Rape. I thought the same thing. I was like, rape. Just that. There, that's badass. We just
That was
down.
cool.
Dog.
That was pretty badass.
Same scream, same pitch, same length. He was gonna scream, Doc.
What are the
Did you guys
rules?
know that originally they filmed this whole movie with Eric Stoltz, but it just had the wrong
just
vibe
wasn't
to it?
bringing it.
Yeah, he went way too. He went way too method. He expected everyone to
Yeah.
call him Frank on set. It was very
He built a
Okay.
basketball
They went
court.
back and watched the dailies, and he even agreed. He was like, yeah, you know what? I'm not a good fit for this. I know it. Though.
I did. What are the rules? What are they?
Yeah. So it's like she can't see blood coming from his chin while they're fucking swerving erratically all over the road.
Right?
Right.
Like she's not a like. Oh no! You're trying to kill me, Bannister!
Bannister!
You're a murderer!
He was just out for him the whole time, anyways.
But I like the fact that they keep the mark under his chin for the rest of the movie, where
Yeah.
you can see where the scythe really did the damage. And that's why I wonder if there wasn't more to it, like he stole it from death or something like that. Because once he loses it, he seems to lose a lot of his power.
Yeah, I would have liked to have had more explanation of the death cloak.
Yeah.
You know.
What's the story?
Yeah.
But
How
Yeah.
he became the Reaper. You know.
the Reaper.
And it's really weird though, because like '96 didn't Scream come out this year also?
I mean,
Yes.
if you-
about 4 months later. Yeah,
If you
Yeah,
think about
kinda
it,
has the
he's
same
trying
look.
he's trying to be the new Death because his thing was killing more people than anything. And who has more killed under their belt than the actual embodiment of death?
Hillary
a cool
Clinton.
idea.
Oh, sorry.
Damn.
they should make a
Sorry,
horror
my
movie series
uncle, my
where
uncle came in and whispered that in my ear real quick. Sorry. Get back. Go back to your QAnon.
they should have an entire movie series where death is the bad guy and he goes around killing people. That'd be
Oh
awesome.
man, I would love to see that.
Hopefully they make it someday.
The Final Destination.
Oh yeah, Final Destination.
Oh yeah.
Never heard of it.
Dammers, he stole the show.
So-
God dammers.
Hold up. There was a
God
clip
dammers.
where God dammers. The news reporter chick who was out after Frank the whole movie.
Oh, the woman
that
that
point-
talks like
There's a clip in between right after where the car crashes again, She gets absolutely yeeted through the forest by
Yeah,
death,
by death. That was great.
and then she dies and still blames Frank.
Oh yeah, she still blames.
Yeah,
He's like, you're a murderer.
He ends up on top of her. She's so fucking overwhelmed with what's happening. A murderer, Bannister.
You killed your wife, Bannister.
Just watched yourself get ripped open by death.
Yeah. Well, she can't see it though. She doesn't know what's happening.
Yeah, she thought
She
it
can't
was
see the apparition. Only
See,
he.
what this movie needs is somebody on the side to answer those questions as the movie's being played.
Yes.
Let me explain to you what happened here.
Yeah.
All right. What? Dammers, God dammers, he stole the show.
You're a very dangerous man, Mr. Bannister.
Oh, Frank Bannister is my prisoner. By the power invested in me by the President of the United States.
Invested in me. Not vested.
Get the hell
Invested
out
power in him.
I have studied the coroner's reports of every death in Fairwater since 1985. 28 cases involved crushed hearts, arteries choked until they burst. That started in 1990 with your beautiful wife, Deborah.
That's so creepy.
You're trying to kill me, right? No. Get it, Bannister.
Yeah, I think that might have been.
I'm
him
wearing a
actually
lead
taking-
breastplate.
With nipples.
Right.
Lead nipples.
Evil house.
Joel Schumacher made this for me.
We still have a lot to offer.
Yeah,
There
look
you
how
go, like-
deteriorating.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Looks like fucking herpes.
Oh, maybe that goes with like how deteriorated his corpse gets over time.
That's
was that,
cool.
Ethan?
Like maybe that's a reflection of how deteriorated his corpse is.
Oh,
You know,
that's
like
creepy.
that's bugs starting to eat away at his flesh.
But then why don't the other ghosts that help out Bannister look the same way if they're from the 70s?
They do. That one guy, his chin is completely falling off of his ghost.
Yeah, but not the pimp. The pimp was
Yeah,
looking
they have
cool as
like
shit.
they have weird
bloody
features
nose
coming out of their
and shit.
eyes and nose and shit. But
They've got weird features.
He gets worse and worse throughout the movie.
I have a theory. I have a theory about that, guys. I have a theory that when the ghosts like do the haunting and everything, I help it revitalize. I think it revitalizes them.
Ooh, that's a good theory.
But also for the pimp, black don't crack.
That's true.
It's true. It's true.
Love it. And then the fucking skin falling on top.
Slam, here it comes. Boom.
So they had two of these suits, obviously. One was Stewart's also.
Mm-hmm.
They just
Yeah.
fell down. It's like,
We're gonna get to that right now, I believe.
I was honestly expecting that to pay off a little bit later on, like maybe Michael J. Fox sees that dead body on the hood. I was a little disappointed that never came back.
well, he gets to see the same thing right here, though, whenever Stewart gets stabbed in the head with a phone.
Well, yeah.
Ready?
Stewart, where'd he go? I think we got him.
He played the Grim Keeper. I don't know why I call it that.
Grim Creeper. That's cool.
Creeping. Some of that Danny Elfman music right there. Bum, 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 bum. Blam! Once again, what are the rules?
There are no rules.
There are no rules where we're going. Who are you? Who are you?
Who are you?
I like the Necronomicon though. Bam!
That looks solid.
That's his fucking headstone. I just realized that.
Yeah.
What? I didn't realize
That's John Bannister's headstone.
Holy shit.
You mean Johnny Bartlett?
John Bartlett.
Bartlett.
So
same thing.
it's not. It's John Bannister.
Oh.
Carrying on the good work. Got me a score of 40.
Is that his dad's grave?
That's what I'm wondering. This is some weird foreplay.
Oh yeah, I love when he's like, grab a knife. Killer, I'll watch.
Oh, I love it.
This is so.
You know who would have been great in that role? What's his face from Scream?
Matthew Lillard.
Yeah.
Yep.
Shaggy.
you
Then
mean
it could
Skeet
have
Ulrich.
been Number
Like,
one.
let's kill another one, Scoob.
It really would have been a fucking Scooby Doo movie. Jesus.
Yep.
Number one.
I guess that makes you one.
I guess that makes you.
All right, pause it for a second.
Yeah.
That dude's face is way too fucking smooth.
What?
That is just disturbingly perfect skin.
Oh my
He looks like a
Burn
goddamn
notice,
alien.
Juicy?
I thought he was gonna say, "Have you ever danced with the devil in the pale moonlight?"
Yeah, he definitely looks a lot like the Joker from '89.
Yeah,
He's got beautiful eyes.
Beautiful eyes.
Stunning.
His eyebrows are
Crazy eyes.
blonde. You know what that means, don't you?
No, does the carpet match?
Toe hairs
the-
are all.
Apples on the fourth floor.
Such an asshole.
You are such an asshole.
He's an asshole.
Oh no, he missed it.
I am an asshole.
That's what he's like. Yes, I am.
Such an asshole.
With an Uzi.
Yes, I am. I'm an asshole.
It's a wonderful delivery.
So dumb.
Horrible shot. Only hits him once in his fucking arm. Like fucking 5 feet away from him. He's a trained fucking field marshal, field agent.
Yep. And an asshole. Splat.
Yes,
That would have broken his leg.
Best thing in the whole fucking movie.
I want to see it again.
That look of confusion on it.
Splat. That's so good.
See you later, Frank. We gotcha. We're going back down to get us some more. Yo, Frank. Bye, Frank.
I hate these creatures.
Sorry, they're not real. They can't hurt you.
I know.
I got a little hentai vibe from this.
Little hentai.
Really?
Ugh.
When it started going through the eyes and shit, that was where it got kind of
Little blue girl going on here.
Oh, it's just Peter Jackson getting back to his roots.
This creature does return in King Kong, though. If you remember, Andy Serkis gets killed by it in the pit in the valley.
So they're connected.
It's a similar creature.
Yeah. Little boy, you're going to hell.
That creature actually reminded me of the dungeon monster from Willow.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, totally.
Yeah.
No lines. No wait.
All right, one last clip. Dammers looks pissed.
Bye-bye.
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 Why is he just riding along with him? Like, should he just be haunting them? Like, oh, y'all can see me? You fuckers killed me, pretty much.
Yeah, wouldn't he just be like the new killer in the whatever theoretical sequel?
There's never going to be a sequel to this movie.
Could have been.
No, but what a fun movie. Jay, do you recommend it? We didn't get to hear if you recommend or not.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a fun watch. I totally agree with anyone who it doesn't think it holds up. It's another classic slice of 90s cinema. So I mean, like all the naysayers, I can definitely see where they're coming from, especially if you're young, like Ethan. Like he's literally younger than this movie, so it's totally understandable that he would nitpick it just from his perspective. I mean, he grew up in the age of CGI everywhere. I mean, didn't have to work for nothing. So
we didn't have to watch no movies with no practical effects. Everything was done in After Effects.
Yeah, but it's definitely, absolutely.
Yeah, I appreciate you guys joining me and talking about this and being here. It's so great. Will already did his Will Recommends. He jumped in there for a minute. So David, where can they find you on the internet, sir?
Stop Motion Nightmares on Facebook, Children of Dave on Instagram, and next Saturday, the 27th, come out to Fair Park to the Oddities and Curiosities Expo to see my shit live in person.
Oh, cool. What are you doing with that?
It's selling my artwork, let me show you right here.
Hell yeah. Give us a little something. What the fuck?
And then
is that a lamp?
Yeah, it's a lamp.
That's
And
dope.
here's another one.
Fuck yeah.
Holy shit.
What,
Dude,
what,
that's
what are those
fucking-
going for?
Does that plug in?
Yeah, it plugs in. Here, I'll plug it in for you.
And we got a special guest, Dan Danzy in the house.
Shows
What's
up
Dan?
right as we're done.
That's
course.
fine. He's here. Is he there or not? Oh, he just wasn't moving. What's up, Dan?
What's up, Dan?
Oh, look at that. That's fucking badass.
What's up, my nugget?
Nugget.
Whoa.
You can't be calling him
How's
that.
it going,
Yes,
guys?
he can. Yes, he can.
How's it going?
You don't
Will's
know the
not here?
backstory.
Will's
No.
not here?
No,
Will
but
already
Popped
jumped
in
in
for
and all.
recommends and left.
yeah, we're actually at the end. David's showing off
Shit.
some of his oddities and stuff. But no, real quick, Dan, you're a
Were you
fan
hoping
of
to
this...
go to Will about something?
I was here to tell Will he's a piece of shit, and then I was just gonna bounce. That was it. That's all I was gonna do.
No wonder Will left so fast.
He'll probably come back and listen to this. So.
Now I gotta call him on his phone.
You hacking son of a nugget!
You hacker, you piece of shit. You hacked my system.
Hey, you hacked me, Will.
Go ahead, y'all watch the Frighteners?
Yes. What do you think? You're a fan.
No. Whoever was next. I'm sorry to interrupt. Whoever
No,
next.
you.
I'll go.
This is the
You're
end.
next.
So
We're
you're
done.
next.
Oh, the Frighteners is one of the best movies ever made.
Thank
Yeah.
you, Dan.
I love that movie so much. It's one of my top 5 horror movies. I mean, I don't even classify it as a horror movie, really.
Okay.
Thank you.
I really
Oh,
don't,
here we
because
go.
It's not scary, and it's the first time on film that you see Michael J. Fox shiver. So there you go.
Yeah, that's what we talked about. You're right.
That's
That's
It
what
was
we
kind
talked
of God's foreshadowing to what would happen to Michael J. Fox.
And we already did talk about this. He discovered it on the set of Doc Hollywood like 5 years before this. Catch up, Dan. Jesus.
I was making insensitive jokes about his Parkinson's, but
We did that. We already did that an hour and a half ago.
Guess
I
what
said
I'm
you-
doing right now? You know what I'm doing right now, Dan? I'm pulling on low-hanging fruit just for you.
looks like you're rubbing some nuts, David. Looks like you're rubbing some testicles.
Those are some tiny testicles.
Could you do it slower for my imagination, please?
Mm.
All right,
Well-
that just looks uncomfortable.
Well, Dan, seeing as you jumped in, tell them where they can find you at.
No, I'm not giving you my address.
No, no, on the internet. Where
No, you can catch me on twitch.tv/redw the pictures, Twitter at Dan Danzy. I'm also the host of the Counting Lights podcast and Asphalt, or co-host on Asphalt. And you can see me March 31st at the Addison Improv with Paul Varghese, Aaron Aaronpour, and Dean Lewis.
We'll see about that.
Oh,
yeah. Oh shit! I forgot he was here. I just said some show I wasn't on. Yeah, you can catch me with Mark Norman at the Addison Improv.
Oh, really? That's very
that.
interesting.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. All right, well, it's good seeing everybody. We get the fuck out of here before I lose another show.
It's
No,
what's funny
that's
is
a Dan.
I'll
That's
stay,
gonna
I'll
be
stay.
that's a
Dan
really
was my
good
pick for
Tuesday
that
night
show.
show.
That's a what?
That's a really good Tuesday night show. That's a good lineup.
It's Wednesday, David. It's a Wednesday.
Oh, well, that's not good.
Excuse you.
David, do you have a timetable when you might do comedy again? You think maybe a few months or maybe like fall? if
I'm gonna
things look
start
better?
doing. I'm gonna start doing open mics in April, and so I should be ready to perform in May.
Have you gotten vaccinated yet?
I'm fully vaccinated. Yeah.
Then
Anybody
just
else?
come on out.
Anyone else get the shot? I got my first one last
shout out to
Monday.
David for
I got Wednesday.
shout out to David for hooking us up with that. Him and his wife, they were able to get us some vaccines, so we appreciate that. man.
He's our COVID vaccine
Yeah.
pusher.
Well,
Have y'all just been passing vaccines to each other?
Yeah,
I had to
we've
go to the
shared.
Texas Motor Speedway.
We've been sharing it. We've been sharing.
You know what? You know what's fucked up is if we turn into like a basically a sequel to Mimic, where 5 years from now we all turn into cockroaches, and you're all like, "Fucking Jessup got us the vaccine, and now we're cockroaches."
Well, then all you'll have to do is just step on them. You're fine.
District 9, man.
It's
District
just
9.
me and a bunch of insects on the Horrorcast.
Because he
All
don't
of
believe
you
in no vaccines.
All of you looking like me. That's what would happen.
All right, guys. So finally, you can find us at wearepodcast.podbean.com. Find all the podcasts there. With that said, let's go ahead and cut the feed. Thank you so much for listening. We really do appreciate it. We will see you next Monday at 8 p.m. for what is the name of the movie, Hobby? Deadpool?
Perfect Blue.
Perfect Blue.
Oh, we
I'm
gotta
excited,
watch
man.
Perfect
I'm
comedy
excited.
movie.
Jay got me pumped up about this.
Yeah.
Such a
Now,
good movie.
Avi,
Such
am
a
I
good
actually
movie.
going to be scared with this one?
It's a surfing movie.
It's Surf Ninjas
with a shark.
Yeah.
There's a shark that surfs.
It's like
movie on
fucking
a
Blue
Horrocast.
Crush or Deep Blue Sea or whatever the fuck it is.
I'm not usually someone who. Have we cut the feed, by the way?
No.
Not yet.
This is still rolling. I wanted. Am I going to be scared, Hobby?
You're gonna like this movie.
It's not the fucking question.
You're gonna be creeped out. I don't think you're
Okay.
gonna be scared, but you're definitely gonna be creeped out.
Okay. All right. Thanks
You
for
turned
watching.
into fucking
y'all. We'll
George
catch you next
Zimmerman
week
from
at 8.
fucking Men's Warehouse. You're gonna like the movie.
All right,
I
we're-
guarantee it.
And there it is. Thank you again so much for checking out the podcast today. If you enjoyed it, head over to your favorite podcast app, Spotify, Stitcher, Podbean, and iTunes, and give We Are Podcast Network a like. And since this is Camp/Horrorcast, if you want to check us out live, we will be on Twitch and YouTube every Monday at 8 p.m. Central Time. You can find us at twitch.tv/We Are Podcast Network and youtube.com/We Are Podcast Network. And if you've enjoyed this podcast, you're going to love the other podcasts here on the We Are Podcast Network. We have We Are Air, where we talk movies, entertainment, whatever the fuck we want to talk about. That's me, that's Jake, and that's Hobby. We're breaking down that pop culture, and we're having so much fun. And don't forget to check out We Are Bagu, a video game podcast, where we talk Atari to Steam and everything in between. That's me and Dr. Ethan Eastwood breaking down all that video game lore, heroes, Gyros, dungeons, and distractions side quests. Me and the boys were playing some D&D. You can start that one from Season 1, Episode 1. It's a blast the whole way through. And I hate being sober. Personal stories from epic people. I sit down with some of my favorite people of all time. We talk about their trials, their tribulations, and their journey this far. Also, check the links in the description for our social media. You can find us at Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at /We Are Podcast Network. With that said, hopefully we see you in the live stream.